Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn to use the laws of indices to simplify expressions. So we've got 4 success criteria, and the first one is to use the laws of indices for addition and subtraction. So we want to simplify a cubed plus a cubed plus a cubed plus a cubed. So basically all we need to do here is say how many a cubes we've got, and we've got 4 of them. So the answer is 4a cubed. So when adding or subtracting, the powers don't change. Here's one for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to see what you should have done, press play. So the answer to this one is 3a squared, because you've got 3a squareds. You're adding 3a squared together. Here's another example. So for this one, we need to add together the terms that have the same powers. So we need to add the a's to the power of 4's together and the a squareds together. So we've got 3a to the power of 4 and we've got 2a to the power of 4. So when we add those together, that's 5a to the power of 4. Then we've got 3a squared, take away an a squared, so that's 2a squared. So our final answer is 5a to the 4 plus 2a squared. Here's one for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to see what you should have done, press play. So for this one, have a look at your like terms. So you've got 2a to the 7, take away 10a to the 7. Now 2 take away 10 is minus 8. So it's going to be minus 8a to the 7. Then we do the a's. You've got minus 3a plus 2a. Minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1. So we've just got minus 1a, or minus a. So our final answer is minus 8a to the 7 minus a. And now we've completed success criteria 1, so we're going to move on to number 2, and this is to use the laws of indices for multiplication and division. So let's have a look at these questions. 2 squared times by 2 cubed would be 32, because 2 squared is 4 and 2 cubed is 8 and 4 times 8 is 32. And 32 is 2 to the power of 5. 2 cubed times 2 cubed, so that's 8 times 8, which is 64. And 64 is 2 to the power of 6. 2 squared times 2 squared, 2 squared is 4, so 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 is 2 to the power of 4. So what's the link? Well, you can see we add the indices together. So when the base numbers are the same and we times them together, we can add the indices. So for the laws of indices, when we multiply, we can add the indices together. So for this one, this time we're dividing. 2 to the power of 5 is 32, and 2 squared is 4. So 32 divided by 4 is 8, and 8 is 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 6 is 64, and 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So 64 divided by 8 is also 8, and 8 is 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 4 is 16, and 2 to the power of 2 is 4, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. and 4 is 2 to the power of 2. So what's the link here? Well, we can see that this time we've subtracted the indices. So when we divide, we subtract the indices. So when dividing, you can subtract the indices, as long as the letters or the numbers are the same. So let's have a look at simplifying this. We've got 10a squared times 3a cubed. So the first step is to multiply the numbers together. So 10 times 3 is 30. Then, because we're multiplying a squared and a cubed together, we can add the indices together. So it would be a to the power of 5. For this question, I'm dividing. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. And a squared divided by a cubed, this time I subtract the indices. So 2 take away 3 is minus 1. So it's a to the minus 1. This one may look complicated, but let's take it step by step. First of all, the numbers. 2 times 3 is 6. Then a squared times a to the 3, so just add the indices together. So that's a to the 5. B times b cubed. Well, b doesn't have an indice, but it does. B on its own is just b to the power of 1. So we add the indices together. So that's b to the power of 4. And then the c is just on its own. So we can just add the c onto the end. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers. There's your amber answers. There's your red answers. And there's your purple answers. The greens made tiger. The ambers made parrot. The reds made monkey. And the purples made snake. So now we've completed success criteria 2. So now we're going to move on to success criteria 3, and this is to use the laws of indices with brackets and fractions. So can we make a link here? We've got 2 squared to the power of 3. So that means 2 squared times 2 squared times 2 squared, because the power of 3 means times by itself 3 times. Now we know from multiplying indices that when we multiply, we add the indices together. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So what's the link? Well, you can see here we've multiplied the indices together. So when there are brackets, we can multiply the indices. So for a question like this, we've got to do 3 to the power of 3 first. So 3 to the power of 3 means 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. And then we times the indices together. So that's 21. So we've got 27 and a to the power of 21. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers, there's your amber answers, and there's your red answers. For a question like this, because it's a fraction, that means we're dividing. So we do 15 divided by 3, which is 5, and then p to the 4 divided by p, which is p to the power of 3. So that's our answer, 5p to the power of 3. In this example, we can't do 12 divided by 30, so instead we simplify the fraction. So we can divide 12 and 30 both by 6. So we get 2/5. Then we do p to the 7 divided by p to the 4. So here we subtract the indices. So we get p to the power of 3. If the index is positive, so the power is positive, then the letter goes on top. So we get 2p to the 3 over 5. In this question, again we can divide the numbers. 18 divided by 3 is 6, and p to the power of 3 divided by p to the power of 9, so we subtract the indices. 3 take away 9 is minus 6. Now if the indice is negative, or the power is negative, that means the letter goes on the bottom. So it's 6 over p to the power of 6. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers, there's your amber answers, there's your red answers, and there's your purple answers. Now we've completed success criteria 3, so we're going to move on to number 4, and this is to apply simplifying to shapes. So we want to calculate the area of this shape. So the area of a triangle is the base times the height, but then divided by 2. And perpendicular means they meet at 90 degrees. So the base needs to meet the height at a 90-degree angle. So we do 3a to the 4 times by 8a to the 3b squared. And then we need to divide it by 2. So we times the numbers first. 3 times 8 is 24. a to the 4 times by a to the 3 is a to the 7. And we've just got b squared on its own. Then we need to divide everything by 2. So I just need to do 24 divided by 2, which is 12. So my final answer is 12a to the 7 b squared. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers, there's your amber answers, and there's your red answers. And now we've completed success criteria 4. So now that we've completed the last objective, it's time to end the video. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you found it useful. Make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out the other videos on the rest of the channel. I'll see you next time. See ya.